Welcome to Omo Yoruba Tata Folktales Stories.
In the quiet village of Omicha, where the ocean sang songs to the shore, a girl named Zina lived with her family. Zina was 10 years old, curious, and loved to explore. Her favorite place was the beach, where she often searched for shiny shells and colorful stones. While walking along the sand one sunny afternoon, Zina saw something gleaming near the rocks. She ran to it, her heart pounding with excitement. There, half buried in the sand, was a golden bracelet. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The bracelet sparkled as if it held the light of 1,000 suns and felt warm when she picked it up. Who could have lost this? Zina whispered, slipping it onto her wrist. It fit perfectly, almost as if it was made for her. That night, as Zina lay in bed, strange things began to happen. She dreamt of a beautiful woman with hair that flowed like water and eyes that shone like the moon. The woman spoke softly. "You have my bracelet," she said, her voice like a song. "It is a gift, but be warned, every wish comes with a cost." Zina woke up with a start, her heart racing. It was just a dream, wasn't it? But when she looked at her wrist, the bracelet was still there. Shining even in the dark. The next day, Zina decided to test the bracelet. "I wish for a mango," she whispered, thinking of the sweet fruit she loved. Instantly, a ripe mango appeared on her bedside table. Her eyes widened in amazement. It was true, the bracelet was magical. But soon, Zina realized the dream woman's warning was not to be ignored. When she laughed later that day, a strong wind blew through the village, knocking over pots and scattering the fishermen's nets. The villagers were puzzled and frightened. As days passed, Zina's wishes brought more trouble. Her wish for rain caused a flood, soaking the entire village. Her wish for a colorful bird filled the trees with squawking, screeching creatures that wouldn't leave. The villagers began to notice, and whispers spread. "Is it Zina?" one woman asked. "Why is all this happening since she found that bracelet?" Terrified that she would be blamed, Zina decided to hide the bracelet. She buried it near the beach, hoping the troubles would stop. But that night, the dream woman returned, her eyes filled with anger. "You cannot hide my gift," the woman said. "You must return it to the sea, where it belongs, or face the consequences." Zina woke up in tears. How could she return it when the ocean was so vast and dangerous? But she knew she had no choice. Early the next morning, she set off for the beach, determined to make things right. As she approached the shore, she saw strange footprints in the sand. They were enormous, and they glowed faintly. Zina followed them, her heart racing with fear and curiosity. The prints led her to the water's edge, where the waves crashed angrily. Suddenly, the bracelet began to tighten on her wrist. It felt as though it was pulling her toward the ocean. "No," she cried, struggling against it. The waves grew taller, and the wind howled around her. Out of the sea rose the same woman from her dreams, but now she was taller than the palm trees and more terrifying than Zina could have imagined. "Why do you delay?" the woman boomed. "Return what is mine." Zina fell to her knees, shaking. "I don't know how," she cried. The woman's eyes softened for a moment. "Find the heart of the ocean," she said. "Only there can the bracelet rest. But be warned, the journey is not for the faint of heart." The woman disappeared, and the waves calmed. Zina sat on the sand, trembling. She didn't know where the heart of the ocean was, but she knew she had to find it. The bracelet's grip loosened, but she couldn't remove it. Zina's adventure had just begun, and she was terrified and determined. She stood, staring at the horizon, knowing the path ahead would change her life forever. Zina returned home, her mind buzzing with questions. Who was the woman? What was the heart of the ocean? And how could a little girl like her possibly find it? She didn't dare tell anyone about the bracelet or the strange encounter. That evening, Zina sat quietly at dinner, pushing her yam porridge around her plate. Her father noticed her silence. "Zina, what troubles you?" he asked gently. "Nothing, Papa," Zina replied, forcing a small smile. But her mother wasn't convinced. "Our daughter doesn't keep quiet without reason," she said, narrowing her eyes. Zina felt the bracelet tighten again as if warning her not to speak. She quickly excused herself and ran outside, clutching her wrist. Near the village well, Zina sat on a rock, staring at the ocean in the distance. The waves seemed to whisper her name, urging her to come closer. Suddenly, she heard footsteps. "Zina, are you alright?" It was her best friend, Kosi. Kosi was kind and always curious, and Zina trusted her more than anyone. Zina hesitated but decided to tell Kosi everything. "You have to promise not to tell anyone," she whispered, showing her the bracelet. Kosi's eyes widened. "It's beautiful," Kosi said, touching the golden band. But when she did, the bracelet sparked, and Kosi pulled her hand away, startled. "Zina, this isn't just a bracelet," Kosi said. "It's alive." Zina nodded. "The woman in my dream said I have to return it to the heart of the ocean. But I don't even know where to start." Kosi thought for a moment, then said, "My grandmother once told me about a place deep in the ocean called Olandu, the land of life. She said it's where the spirits of the water dwell. Maybe that's the heart of the ocean." Zina's heart leaped with hope. "How do we find it?" "There's an old fisherman in the next village," Kosi said. "People say he knows all the secrets of the sea. Maybe he can help." The next morning, Zina and Kosi sneaked out before sunrise. They walked to the neighboring village, their feet dusty from the long trek. When they reached the fisherman's hut, they found him sitting by the shore, mending his nets. His name was Baba Chidiok, and he looked as old as the hills. "Please, Baba," Zina said, bowing respectfully. "We need your help." Baba Chidiok peered at them with sharp eyes. "Children shouldn't meddle in matters of the ocean," he said gruffly. "It's important," Zina insisted, showing him the bracelet. The old man's face changed instantly. He looked frightened but also curious. "Where did you get that?" he asked in a low voice. Zina told him everything, from finding the bracelet to the woman in her dreams. Baba Chidiok listened quietly, then sighed. "You're dealing with the spirit of Nena, the water goddess," he said. "She's not one to forgive easily. But there is a way to reach Orlando." "How?" Zina and Kosi asked together. Baba Chidiok pointed to the horizon. "Beyond the reef lies a place called the Singing Isles. The water there hums a song only the brave can hear. Follow the song, and it will guide you to the heart of the ocean. But beware, many have tried, and few have returned." Zina's stomach twisted with fear, but she nodded. "Thank you, Baba," she said. As they prepared to leave, Baba Chidiok gave Zina a small conch shell. "Blow this if you're in trouble," he said. "It may call for help if the spirits are feeling kind." Zina and Kosi began their journey to the Singing Isles at dusk. The ocean stretched endlessly before them, shimmering under the moonlight. Kosi rowed the small canoe while Zina clutched the conch and listened for the song. Hours passed, and the sea was eerily quiet. Just as Zina began to think they had gone the wrong way, a soft melody drifted through the air. It was haunting and beautiful, like the voice of the woman from her dreams. "This must be it," Zina said, her heart racing. But as they followed the song, the water grew darker and colder. Shadows danced beneath the waves, and a chilling laugh echoed around them. Suddenly, their canoe rocked violently, as if something enormous had bumped into it. What was that? Kosi screamed, gripping the paddle. Zina looked over the edge and gasped. Glowing eyes stared back at her from beneath the surface. Whatever it was coming for them. Zina's heart raced as the glowing eyes moved closer. The creature's silhouette grew larger. Its massive form rippling beneath the dark water. Kosi, row faster! Zina shouted, gripping the edge of the canoe. Kosi paddled furiously, her arms straining against the waves. But the creature was too fast. With a tremendous splash, it broke the surface. A giant serpent with scales that shimmered like moonlight loomed over them, its eyes fixed on the golden bracelet. What does it want? Kosi cried, her voice trembling. The bracelet! Zina yelled. It's after the bracelet. The serpent let out a deafening hiss, shaking the canoe violently. Zina remembered the conch shell Baba Chijioke had given her. With trembling hands, she brought it to her lips and blew as hard as she could. A low, mournful sound echoed across the ocean, and for a moment, everything went still. The serpent paused, its glowing eyes narrowing as if it had heard something far away. Then, from the depths of the water, a new sound emerged, a deep, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate through the air. The serpent hissed again, this time in fear, and disappeared beneath the waves. The canoe rocked wildly, but the girls held on tight. What just happened? Kosi whispered, her voice barely audible.